down that clever thing I said in the car on our way to see the stars. Like the walls of Babylon, this was meant to crumble and fall down. If we all get what we deserve, are we the villains now? Testify that I can't lie. It is not in my constitution. Constellation in the sky shows my fate for a reason. Scrape my bitten nails right down your back and ask, in a past life, was I a wicked wife? And it's just an illusion, like the theory that things come easy.
Mackenzie Shivers.
Oh, can you
Look,
hear me?
yes, I can.
Good.
Look at you. You're like a conduit of like beautifully artistic fashion and essence and culture.
Thank you. That's so nice.
It's like, I think that's your purpose, Mackenzie. Just like a vessel of like beautiful art to the world.
That is so incredibly kind. Thank you for saying that. Well, I do. This is my home in upstate New York in the Hudson Valley, and it has been really fun putting it together. And yeah, it's been really wonderful.
Amazing. But yeah, Mackenzie Shivers. I mean, last time we saw you, we were still levitating from Rejection Letter, and a masterpiece of an album, and you graciously gave us your time. And by the way, a couple new songs out, Cautionary Tale and Pedestal. But yeah, but let's start with this, Mackenzie. When you're making a new song, and you're crafting it and you have the lyrics and everything, and you come across like a piece of the song like this one. Is that like an aha moment? Is that like the glue that kind of puts it all together and takes it to the next level?
Yeah, actually, that song started like that. I can show you exactly how that song began. When I wrote it, I started just pedaling on this note and then the left hand. And that's how I started writing the song. So that came before the lyrics or anything else. So I think it kind of shaped their whole song, that little moment.
Beautiful. I mean, it makes total sense. Is that, yeah. And by the way, Mackenzie, for a video, for the Cautionary Tale, which is like all your videos is a visual piece of art, what is the Mackenzie hiring process? I was thinking about this because, you to pick a director, to pick the editor, the stylists, do you give them your concept first? Because I feel like, you have this really good idea in your head. What's the process like?
So the woman who directed this video, her name is Sarah Hiley, and we'd worked together several times just with photo shoots, and she's a wonderful photographer, and we just really got along, and I had this gut feeling that she'd be really good for this project. So I asked her if she'd ever directed a video. She said no, but she was really interested in doing it, and she had been wanting to do it. So direct a music video. So we said, okay, let's do this one together, and let's just like see what happens. And so we created the concept together. We knew we wanted to shoot up here in the Hudson Valley. It's like loosely based off of the story of Catherine of Aragon, who was one of the wives of King Henry VIII. She was his first wife. I was just very moved by her story. She seemed like a really strong woman who'd been through a lot. She'd really had trouble conceiving. She had had miscarriages, and that's, where the inspiration for my song and album came from as well. And so we like put little nods to her in the video, and she then brought on board Desdemona Dallas, who was the DP and editor, and Lindsay Buckaloo, who did the makeup and the hair, and Jesse Malone, who helped us out for the day. So she put the crew together, and it ended up being just so much fun. We had a blast making this. It was really, really fun.
And I do want to ask you about like the miscarriages and all that, but like, is it, and I mean this wholeheartedly, is it difficult for you to let go? Because I mean, my audience may not know. I mean, you're such an artistic person, not only musically, but visually. I mean, Savannah School of Design, you just get it. You get aesthetic, you get color, you get what flows. Is it hard for you to like let it go?
Um, no, as long as I trust the people I'm working with, not really. Like
Okay.
I'm still like very involved in the process along the way. Like I was looking at all the different edits and the different cuts of the video along the way and making notes. So I want to be involved in that way, but I also don't want to like be overly controlling. I think there's something really beautiful about trying to let things go and let other people do their thing and not micromanage.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's always about finding that balance. And that's the same in the studio, working with a producer or other musicians. I think that's the same idea.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it, Mackenzie. But yeah, you briefly touched on it, and the song came from a time when you were, lonely, waddling through, some grief, struggling with getting pregnant, and eventually getting pregnant. I mean, that's a lot of emotions. I mean, I don't even know where to start. I mean, what do you even process with that? I mean, like, how was the whole conception of this song? Like, because it took you like a minute to like get to these new songs.
Yes. I did write the whole record that's coming out next year, and Pedestal and Cautionary Tale, which will be on it. Yeah, I wrote them when I was really in a bad place. I was grieving. I was honestly feeling quite depressed. And usually when I'm feeling down, I don't write. But this was a different situation. All I could do was write. I felt like it was just pouring out of me.
Yeah.
And I really didn't expect that. And then I really ended up liking what I was writing. And so I decided to take it into the studio, and then had actually a lot of fun making the record, which just, I needed that joy in my life. And then I kind of held on to it for a while until it felt like the right time to release it. So, and now feels like a really great time. And it's been a really amazing journey, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Why were you down, Mackenzie? Like, if you don't mind enlightening us a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I was trying to have a baby, and it was just kind of month after month of disappointment and just feeling really heartbroken that it wasn't working out. And then I did finally get pregnant. I was so excited, and then I lost the baby, and then I was just I was in a really dark place, to be
Sure.
frank. It was a really, really tough. And then I decided to try again. And then I actually found out I was pregnant with my daughter days before filming the music video. Wow. So it was like this like beautiful full circle. And then we finished the record like the day later. It was just kind of all like bing, bing, boom. And so it just, felt like this beautiful full circle moment. And now releasing it into the world, it feels like really empowering, and it feels like a really beautiful way to kind of honor that first pregnancy and kind of what that was. And now it's this album. Like, that's what it turned into.
That's why I think this album, by the way, it's gonna be called Primrose Was in Season, and it comes out next year. It's gonna be so powerful, Mackenzie, because you're touching on like core human elements that everyone needs and everyone needs to hear. One, we just talked about resilience. That, even in the darkest moments, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Like, that is such a beautiful concept that you touch on. And then the other song, Pedestal, I mean, the importance of having the right partner for all these times, and like why relationships matter so much. And like, tell us a little bit about that, because like the battle in that moment, that at least you were kind of like with the right person.
Yeah, definitely. I think of Pedestal as like kind of almost its own version of a lullaby in a way. And even though it's called Pedestal, I feel like it's kind of about like grounded love, not like lofty, over romanticized love, but grounded love. And I think, kind of being in the thick of something really intense with the person that you love, and kind of that can get complicated. But that, it's really important to have that. And I feel really lucky to have that in my life. Pedestal and A Cautionary Tale, I wrote like days within each other, back to back. So I've always kind of thought of them as like sister songs in that way.
My God. And now we see on your socials your beautiful daughter, and she's like she's like a bluebird the way she sings, and God, what a beautiful bundle of blessings that you have there.
Thank you. Yes, I feel very, very, very lucky that things turned out this way, and she's been a real joy. Really.
Unbelievable, Mackenzie. Mackenzie, have you thought about like touring like in earnest next year? Because I know you don't love touring or the idea of touring, but you have a little bit. But have you thought about giving this like a proper tour?
I thought about that more recently because I had people asking me, oh, are you gonna play this live? Are you gonna play this record live? And thought, maybe I should give that real consideration. I just kind of have to figure out the logistics of it. But I do get excited about the idea of playing these songs live. They're just a little bit different.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be a really cool show and really meaningful, but also really fun. So yeah, I have thought about that. I really want to come to Nashville. I haven't played Nashville yet.
To your old stomping grounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think it'd be great if you have a product here that like you can share light. You can share your story with the world. It's like a very inspirational piece of art. But yeah, touring is not easy, and certainly for mothers as well, it has that extra wrinkle. But it can be done. It is done. I see it all the time. It just needs a few extra wrinkles, if you will.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. A few extra wrinkles.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Mackenzie, by the way, how was your time in Nashville? Because obviously you went to Vanderbilt, to the Blair School of Music here, and you rocked it. But that's a chapter of your story that is not very, very public. How was your time here?
Oh, I loved Nashville. I loved it. It holds such a special place in my heart. I studied classical music at the Blair School of Music and was doing more like orchestral compositions and which was really fun. And I do kind of miss that a little bit, like that kind of writing. I feel like I could see myself getting back into that again at some point. But yeah, I learned a lot. And I mean, Nashville was, it was just incredible. I loved going and listening to shows. I loved listening to bluegrass and all kinds of music, but I really especially enjoyed the bluegrass scene. And yeah, it was great. Really inspiring, definitely, as a musician going to school there.
Amazing. Well, we can't wait to have you back. And I think you're going to play a song for us. But man, you look so cool, Mackenzie. You're like too cool. I'm sorry. You're too cool for school. We are just like, we can't with you and your fashion and your coolness.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This is all vintage duds from my favorite stores up here. And
that's when you know. I have a really cool friend, Paul McDonald, that can wear like a blanket. You're the same. I'm like, Paul and Mackenzie's the same. You guys can like wear like a trash bag, and people would be like, "Oh, that's so trendy." I gotta put all the bells and whistles, Mackenzie, too. But anyway.
I do have a jacket that's made out of a blanket, so it's kind of like just wearing a blanket, but
I believe
it's my favorite.
Amazing, Mackenzie. Well, thanks for your time. What are you going to play for us, man? So grateful.
Oh, yes. Well, I think I was going back and forth between, I'll let you pick. I can play Pedestal or I can play Cautionary Tale. I was going to play one of those.
All right. Well, normally I let my guests pick, but Cautionary Tale's been like on repeat a little bit.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm going to play it in the style that it was written at the piano, which I think will be special because it's a little bit different and you'll kind of hear it as it was created. Okay, so this is a Cautionary Tale, and thank you again so much for having me. This has been so much fun.
Write down that clever thing I said in the car on our way to see the stars. Told me we might spy the northern lights that night, but our chances, they were small. And they're just an illusion, like the theory that things come easy. For me, you call me effortless, I call your bluff. And the odds haven't been in my favor, all the dice call snake eyes, but it's sixes on both sides. Like the walls of Babylon, this was meant to crumble and fall down. If we all get what we deserve, deserve? Are we the villains now? Testify that I can't lie. It is not in my constitution. Constellation in the sky shows my fate for a reason. Scrape my bitten nails right down your back and ask, in a past life, was I a wicked wife? And it's just an illusion, like the theory that things come easy, like the walls of Babylon. This was meant to crumble and fall down. If we all get what we deserve, are we the villains now? Like a cautionary tale, guess we were not destined to prevail. If we all get what we deserve, I'll keep on chasing the white whale.
No words, Mackenzie. Thank you so much. Thank you for this. Thank you for the album. Thank you for what you do. And, you're going to have a blessed year. So.
Thank you, Jamie. Thanks for having me on. This was such a pleasure. It was really wonderful speaking with you.
Same. Take care, Mackenzie.
You too.